Good afternoon, students, and welcome to a new week. Today we are setting up our notebook. This way we have a base for our organization for the rest of the quarter, well, semester, depending on kind of when we wrap up things, if you guys come back to school, when you come back to school full time. But anyways, as we use these in class pretty much every single day, it's good to have a good start to everything. So we're going to set up our notebooks, everything is nice and organized as we go forward. So get your notebook. It doesn't have to be a composition book. That's just what I have around the house. If you have a spiral notebook, that's perfectly fine as well. In the end, you just want something that you can put your papers in. I prefer no binders. I would prefer an actual notebook that is designated for my class. Well, it has to be designated for my class. First thing you need to do is number your pages. You're going to start with number 1 on the very first page, and you're going to number every single page in the book. Now, please pay attention. Don't just start numbering, because you're going to have to number the back side of the pages as well. You should be able to see that right here, where we have the 2 on the left side and the 3 on the right. That 2 is on the back side of page 1. This way we can use as much of the notebook as possible. We're not wasting any pages. And it just allows you to take advantage of, having a relatively small notebook, but putting as much information in there as possible. So we want 2 on the left, 3 on the right, and you're going to continue all the way till you number the entire book, however long that takes. Every single page should be numbered. Be careful not to skip pages. Sometimes they stick together. Sometimes you're trying to rush through and do it quickly. Obviously, if you have a notebook that has 90 pages, you should have 180 at the end. If you have a notebook that has 100 pages, you should have 200 at the end. So just be careful with that. And here it is, 4, 5, same thing, 4 on the left, 5 on the right. Your even numbers are always going to be on your left side, and your odd numbers are always going to be on the right side. So the next page would be 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, the first thing you want to do after you number is add your syllabus. The syllabus is what you would print out. It is, I took the syllabus and kind of condensed it to one sheet of paper. In the sense that you would have to cut it and it would be on 2 pages. But this is the best way I could get it to fit on a single sheet of paper, so it would fit within your notebook. Most notebooks are slightly smaller than printed paper. You don't really want those edges hanging out. So take the first page. It'll look like this. It has the world, culture, geography, Mr. George Lang at the top. That's going to go on page 1. And just glue it into your notebook on page 1. Now, be careful. You do not need a ton of glue. If you can see over here, they're kind of hard to see in these pictures, but there's a dot. There's a dot. Basically, if you're using Elmer's glue, 5 dots is more than enough. 1 in each corner. Put it in about 1 inch. You don't want it all the way to the edge, as it'll bleed out the side. And then 1 in the middle. That'll be more than enough to hold it in place. If you have a glue stick, use your glue stick, get it to stick. All right. Yeah, so that's your first page, page 1. And then on the back of that, page 2 is the other side of that syllabus. The next thing you're going to add is the notebook check papers. They all look like this, and they are also in the files for you to download. There are 3 per page. Right now I have it at 12 notebook checks for the year. I hope that's all I do. I might do more, I might do less, but again, this is a way for you to earn points by keeping your notebook nice and neat and up to date. So that starts on page 3. As you can see right here, page 3. Going to continue to 4, 5, and then the last paper on that second sheet will go on page 6. And again, same way you put in the syllabus, cut them in half, glue them, and attach them to your notebook pages. The last thing we are going to add is the table of contents. They are not labeled at the top, but you can see what page. That's going to be the page within the context of your notebook, the title, the information, and the date that we did it on. This way you're able to keep track of the information you have, and you can kind of like, okay, well, we're having a test on this topic, and you can quickly find where it is at on your table of contents and then go to that page if you need to study that particular topic. And that'll go on pages 7 and 8. So page 7 on the back side of that, page 8 will go the other sheet. I don't know if we're going to do that many assignments. It's just an easy way to make sure I have enough. And these are done by unit. So when we start a new unit, you're going to glue a whole new set of these in so we can keep it by unit. Just makes things a little bit easier. And that's your assignment for today. Just putting together a notebook and having it ready to go. Tomorrow we're going to be starting vocab, and you guys will be adding the vocab squares to it to kind of, guys get used to doing the way we're going to do vocabulary in this class. And that's going to be a 2-day assignment. It's going to take up Tuesday and Wednesday as well. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me online through Schoology or through Remind. If you haven't signed up for Remind, please do so. Once again, please make sure that all your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stuff you are keeping up with, so you're not falling behind when you come in on Thursday. And the kids who've been every day have been doing this all the time. You should be doing it too.